viewers, do you know the impact on diet to fertility for both men and women? Today we'll be touching that. And I'm here in the studio with Officer again. Kindly introduce yourself.
So I'm Flight Lieutenant Ivan Gala, the Principal Dietitian at the 37 Military Hospital.
Yes, Officer, I would want us to touch on the influence of nutrition on fertility for both men and women.
Okay. So when it comes to diet and fertility, the food we eat plays a vital role in our ability to produce healthy eggs or healthy sperms, resulting in the kind of fetus that is being produced. So it's very important that before you get pregnant, during and after pregnancy, you watch your diet or whatever you eat, because all these will actually result in the kind of fetus you produce. So if you want to give birth to a very healthy baby, it's very important that before you get pregnant, during pregnancy and after pregnancy, you actually watch the kind of foods that you eat, so as to give birth to a very healthy baby.
Yes, and I think in our part of the world, people give birth because probably they are married and they are expected to give birth, probably they want to have children. And I think the ideal thing is to first have an assessment to know if you have enough nutrients for yourself, your daily activities. So you have to have enough reserve so that the child will not end up being malnourished or low birth weight or any of the complications that comes with childbirth. What would be your advice to anybody who would want to consider having children? What would be the ingredients they have to watch out for? I would want you to touch on for both men and women.
So usually when you want to actually conceive, it's very important that you eat very healthy. Even your lifestyle should be something that is worth giving you or getting you pregnant. So usually we advise that first you avoid alcohol intake. That's number one. You avoid caffeinated drinks. You avoid the intake of sugar-sweetened beverages, or limit your intake of taking sugar. And also you avoid refined foods. You avoid refined foods. Eat a lot of foods that are rich in antioxidants, fruits and vegetables. You eat foods that are rich in magnesium, that are rich in folates, the B vitamins. They are very, very important that before pregnancy, eat these foods that will help you provide healthy sperms or healthy ovaries, so that at least you can give birth to a very strong, healthy baby.
Yeah, so there is this misconception that your body weight has nothing to do with childbirth. I would want us to address that because people really don't know that their BMI can influence their fertility rates. I would want us to touch
So that's a very good question. So usually weight plays a very important role in pregnancy. So because of the hormonal imbalances during pregnancy, it's very important that you kind of manage your weight. There are certain times when you go to the hospital because of your weight alone can be the result or can be the reason why you are not giving birth. So the doctor actually advises you that go and then try to lose weight and then try again so that at least you can get pregnant. So weight plays a very vital role when it comes to the potential or tendency of getting pregnant for both male and females. So we are advised that eat healthy. So you eat a lot of foods that are rich in antioxidants, high fiber diets, avoid alcohol, avoid refined foods that have the tendency of making you grow big, trans fats or fatty foods. All these foods need to be avoided. taken in limitation so that it won't go big and then resulting in a lot of other conditions that will prevent you from being able to get pregnant.
Okay. So we have to take note that all the food nutrients are very much necessary when one is trying to take seed. However, there is a particular role that folate plays in fertility. I would want us to touch on that.
So usually for folate, because of the usually hemoglobin level, that's our blood levels, we advise that you have to actually get the normal values. So you shouldn't be low. When your blood levels are low, it actually puts you at risk of miscarriage and other pregnancy-related complications. So we advise that eat foods that are high in folate. So usually eggs, milk, nuts and seeds, green leafy vegetables, fruits. All this will help increase your folate levels and make sure that you're able to reduces your risk of complications that come with pregnancy. Yes, so you are aware that when it comes to pregnancy, you are not 100% confident that the outcome will result in death because of some of these complications. When you don't eat well, it can result in miscarriages, IUDs, and even the child comes out with a lot of deformities.
Yes.
So you advise that in the process of getting pregnant and even during pregnancy, you actually make sure that you pay particular attention to whatever you are taking. People get pregnant and they are still taking alcohol, still taking caffeinated drinks.
Even when they know they are pregnant.
Yeah, even when they know they are pregnant,
Wow.
taking all these things. Women, to the extent, not taking green leafy vegetables, not taking fruits, because some of them claim that when they take these foods, they feel nauseous.
And they have aversion.
Yeah, so most of them tend to stay away from, forgetting that these are the same foods that give you the nutrients that you need to actually give birth to healthy babies. So it's very necessary that as nutrition dietitians, as I keep on saying, we should go out there, educate our women of reproductive age, to take these foods, or our nuts and seeds. We are the chia seeds, sunflower seeds. They are very rich in zinc, magnesium, and all those other nutrients that we need for fertility and giving birth to healthy babies. So we need to actually play a role in educating women on the kind of foods that they choose during pregnancy or before they get pregnant.
Okay, so there are some people, they are not pregnant yet, but they want to get pregnant. Yet they eat as though they have aversion. See, in our local language, shire, but pika or paika, yeah, people eat them. What are some of the complications they can bring to fertility?
So when you say paika, you mean things that usually they crave for during pregnancy?
See, that's why I said there are some people, they are not pregnant yet, but there are some people that on a regular, I've gone to the market several times and there's someone who sells the pika, the clay, and people come, they are not pregnant. They prefer eating that over food. What are some of the complications you can have for them if they want to?
So when it comes to pika or pika, it's individual related, because some people are not pregnant, but it's even sometimes when it rains, the smell that comes from the sun when it rains, it doesn't really matter whether you are pregnant or not. A lot of people like that the sun.
Yes.
So sometimes it doesn't really, even though you're not pregnant, but they have those cravings. When it comes to cravings, it doesn't really matter whether you're pregnant or not. It's just that during pregnancy, because of the hormonal changes or imbalance, it makes it more dominant, or it makes it higher in pregnant women. But a lot of people actually have those cravings. And these cravings tend to have a lot of effects when it comes to your diet.
Yes.
But when they crave for this, and when they get it, they are kind of satisfied. They don't really see the need to actually go in for the actual food again, because after craving for something, when you get it one next, there's no need actually.
Eating clean.
There's no need going eating the food that they need.
Yes.
And it's like you satisfied your craving, so you are okay. So somebody is craving for the clay. After taking the clay, the person okay. Somebody is craving for maybe just the smell of something. After smelling it, the person is okay. Even sometimes pregnant women, they ask their husbands to get them certain foods. When the husband gets the food, they are craving for something else, and the husband will have to rush and go and get that particular food again. You understand? So sometimes when they satisfy the craving, then they're okay. They don't really necessarily need to eat that particular food, but they just want to actually maybe smell it or just have a feel of it. So all these things have effects, and people need to be educated on why they need to avoid certain cravings and go in for maybe the real food that are nutrient dense.
Yeah, so the attention shouldn't be on just the women, the men too, because it is what you give, what I give, there's a fusion and then there's a baby. So if I am taking care of myself and my partner isn't taking care of himself, we will end up not having a good result. So the right food choices is not only for women, it's for men too, and then avoiding alcohol too. Because it's not a one-day something. So let's try to get right foods, real foods, avoid alcohol, avoid coffee or caffeine. Yes, caffeinated products. Take a lot of water. Be physically active. Make sure you are in an optimal health before you try to next another human being. Also, please, any takeaways before we wrap up?
Okay, so as I remember the last time we discussed the intake of this monosodium glutamate and how it was preventing people from causing potency or infertility among both male and females. So that's also something that people should look out for, trying to make sure that they are reducing or even avoiding the intake of this monosodium glutamate, which is added to most of our ingredient cubes, our artificial spices. Even research has shown that not long ago there was this video that was circulating about these bouillon cubes used to castrate animals. I don't know if you came across such
I
social media.
Yes,
so if it's happening in animals, that shows that it could equally happen among human beings too. So we need to be very careful about what we actually take into our system. So
moderation is key.
Yeah, moderation. Sometimes even avoid why will you need to add this monosodium vitamins to flavor your food or make it taste better when we have these natural spices? We have our ginger, we have our garlic, we have our turmeric, pepper, and all those things, which even makes food taste better.
Now it has become the norm, especially for fast foods. So it makes the taste appealing than what you take at home. So it's now a big issue now. I think what we can do is to try to bring back the condiments we use in our food to the children, because for the old age and we can do something, but then I think it's better we start from the children. I think
it's also a marketing strategy these producers of these foods use to make it look like it makes the food taste better, to get more people to actually patronize these things. And at the long run, it affects our health. A lot of things now, a lot of fertility issues, a lot of kidney issues, a lot of metabolic disorders coming up. Meanwhile, those days, these
hormonal imbalances.
These conditions were not things that we used to see often, but now they are with us and very, very common. Not just with us, but very, very common. Cancers everywhere. So some of these things we need to be very careful about them and try to actually educate and let people desist from taking these monosodium glutamate. And also, I want to recommend that we should take in most of these nuts and seeds as snacks. You get my point? Like a snack instead of indulging in these pastries or these unhealthy snacks, which also do not help us and makes us to gain unwanted weight or extra weight. So at least these nuts and seeds can serve as snacks, and also we can add it to our meals, so that at least it makes us more healthy. So I just want to touch on that. That's my take.
Thank you very much for all that you shared with us. You've heard of that. Try to know your BMI, physical activity, hydration, right food selection, and it will give you a higher chance of having a good result if you want to give birth. It has been Eat Right with the this year. Do well to subscribe, and see you in the next episode.